Good evening everybody and welcome back to LOA TV for the 2023 season. The opener tonight, Derry City, the current FAA Cup holders, taking on the league champions SHAMROCK Rovers in what is the opener for the season, the President's Cup. Kickoff is at 7:45. Make sure and stay with us here for all the action.
You can feel it in the air. It's coming. It's time to get ready for the thrill of the action, for the passion of the crowds, for the blasts from a distance, for the inspired touches, for the near misses, for the not so near ones. Game by game, goal by goal. Get ready for a different energy. Get ready for a different league. SSE Airtricity, official sponsor of the men's and women's leagues.
At the end of November 2022, SHAMROCK Rovers were crowned champions and Derry City won the FAA Cup. Both teams meet tonight in the showpiece opener for the 2023 season. That is the President's Cup here live at the Brandywell. Kickoff is at 7:45. Earlier I took the opportunity to speak to both managers. First up, it's Derry City manager Rory Higgins. I'm joined now by Derry City manager Rory Higgins. Rory, an opportunity for a trophy tonight in front of your home crowd, the President's Cup.
It's brilliant. It feels like football's back. I've always said I'm not a huge fan of pre-season, but I don't really class this as a pre-season friendly. This is the perfect game to get us ready for next week.
There is a few players out tonight in the squad. Can you tell us more about that?
Ronan Boyce, Cameron McJanet have niggles that we're not willing to take a risk with. Patrick McElhinney has a minor injury that we're not willing to take a risk with, and Dummigan's probably a bit more serious, but I don't think it's a game where you put people at risk. It's a game where you get the players who are fit and ready for next week.
You've had a chance, of course, to dip into the transfer market and gain a few new players. Will they feature tonight?
We'll see. Ben Doherty is starting the game, Adam O'Reilly's starting the game, so looking forward to seeing them in a Derry jersey in front of the home crowd, and we might introduce one or two as well.
Rory, as ever, thanks for joining us in LOA TV and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined now by Stephen Bradley, the SHAMROCK Rovers manager. Stephen, congratulations on another league title. A chance to get back to normality with football on a Friday night tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We've missed it, obviously. We had a really good season last year, as did Derry, so tonight has the makings, although it's still pre-season, the makings to be a really good game.
Derry had an excellent final, of course, overcoming Shelbourne by 4-0. Top two in the league, meeting again. Do you think it'll be a tough game encounter tonight? Yeah,
I think it will be. Like you said, I know it's still pre-season, but both teams are really good teams, a lot of good players. Both of us will want to win, obviously, so it has the makings to be a really good game.
Have you had to reshuffle much given the fact that you have a few players out tonight?
I believe we have a strong squad. I think we have the strongest squad we've had in quite some time. So yeah, we have a few knocks and a few that we're not going to take a chance with. But I don't think that weakens us. I think we've got a really strong squad, and if this was a league game and we came here with this starting 11, I'd be more than happy. So no excuses.
Stephen, thanks for joining us in LOA TV and good luck tonight.
Cheers, thank you.
The start of what should be the 2023 league, well, it's not the league campaign, it's the President's Cup for 2023. Derry City, the current FAA Cup holders, taking on the league champions SHAMROCK Rovers here at the Brandywell. Kickoff is at 7:45. My name's Colin Green. I'm joined tonight by former Derry City captain, player manager, and the man who's made more appearances in a Derry City jersey than anybody else, Mr. Peter Hutton. Peter, looking forward to tonight's game?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Should be a good game. Two teams that want to play football as well in the right manner. So be an interesting tussle. See who gets the bragging rights after today's game.
There's also that spice of Mr. Michael D. Higgins. He's just to our right hand side. I think he's going to be brought out and brought onto the pitch. It's become a popular fixture now as the season opener. I'm sure that there'll be no holds barred. I don't think that the two managers, having spoke to them before tonight's game, see this as a friendly. They see it as an opportunity to sort of maybe test the water and see how they've done in the transfer market.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a friendly. Both of them will still want to win the game. There's a piece of silverware there.
So what we'll do, we'll run through tonight's teams. So there's Derry City, of course, starting tonight with Brian Maher in goal. Kieran Call, Mark Conley, Michael Duffy. Will Patching gets the captain's armband for Derry City tonight. Ben Doherty is making a return to the squad tonight, having spent a short while with Coleraine. Sadou Diallo makes a starting lineup, having sat out the cup final. We've also got Shane McElhinney, Ryan Graydon, Adam O'Reilly and Cian Kavanagh. So a pretty strong lineup, Peter, from Rory Higgins' point of view.
It is, yeah. I think they sort of want to lay down a mark or two. Start of the season, you want to get off to a good start. As I say, there's a piece of silverware there to be won as well. So I'm sure Rory will make sure he wants to, as I say, win the game and just keep the momentum going from last season's cup final win.
Shamrock Rovers, the league leaders, coming here tonight with a few injuries as well. Sean Kavanagh, Sean Hoare, Sean Gannon, Ronan Finn and Gary O'Neill adding to Stephen Bradley's woes, but he's picked up a pretty strong squad. Leon Poole starts in goals. Roberto Lopez is tonight's captain for Rovers. Lee Grace, Stan Cleary, Dylan Watts, Dara Nugent, Richie Toyle, Marcus Poom, Johnny Kenny, Liam Burt and Kieran Cruz making up the Rovers starting lineup. So although he does have a few players out, Peter, it's still a strong Rovers team. Yeah, there's still some very experienced players in there who've won in numerous championships now, but it'll be interesting to see how the younger boys do, in particular young Johnny Kenny coming back to the League of Ireland and young Kieran Cruz, who's been promoted from the academy. Again, it'll be interesting to see who he does as well. Yeah, it's certainly one to look out for. Kieran Cruz he's been playing on the left hand side. He's only 18 years of age, and as you say, he came through the academy. So the substitutes tonight for both sides: Derry City with Tag Ryan, a recent signing on the off season, Jamie McGonigal, Brandon Kavanagh, Matty Ward, Jordan McAniff, Evan McLaughlin making a return to the squad as well. Liam Mullen, Connor Barr and Dara McCluskey. For Rovers, they've got the ever-present Alan Manis, Aaron Green, Graham Burke, Simon Power, Trevor Clark, Justin Farazaj, Neil Farouja, Gideon Tete and Jack Byrne. The referee tonight, I'm just looking down through my notes to see, they have given it to Neil Doyle, so he'll be officiating. He's assisted by Darren Corcoran and Richie Story, and the fourth official is Damien McGrath. The trophy is out on the pitch. You can probably see it just below the graphic here on your screen. We're just awaiting the arrival of both teams onto the pitch, and Michael D. Higgins as well. Decent enough crowd as well, Peter. I know that there was a scramble for tickets during the week, and it's good to see a full crowd here at the Brandywell, not just for this game but for every game. Yeah, well, I think that there's been a massive push in the season tickets. I think most of them were sold out, which is great to see, and as I say, it's building on the momentum from last season, which ended up a very good season for Derry. But this year now they just want to kick on again and go that one step further. Season tickets were at a premium prior to Christmas. Derry fans were nearly barging down the door here at the Brandywell, in that there was such a demand for it. And speaking to certain supporters as well too, who don't necessarily be able to manage every game, Peter, you know, they were saying about what's the scramble for tickets going to be like for ordinary games. And I think you can safely say that, you know, every game last year was a sellout, and I think because they won the FAI Cup, because of the way they're playing with under Rory at the moment, it'll probably be a similar scenario for 2023. Yeah, you would expect so. As I say, they want to build on that momentum now, and there is a real sense of community back at the club again, and that's all down to Rory and the staff and the players, and they just, as I say, want to keep this going now. So the fanfare has come out, the two teams have come out. Here I'm looking really rare, and they go. Richie Toyle on the end for Shamrock Rovers burst out of the dressing room there, and Michael D. Higgins just about to be presented to the Brandywell crowd. I'm not sure if we'll have the national anthem. There's a few dignitaries have made their way out now into the stand as well too. I believe the Secretary of State is here as well, Peter, tonight, so there she is. Aaron Nevane rings out round Brandywell. Michael Higgins accepts the plaudits and he will be introduced to the Derry squad starting at the end with number 14 Ben Doherty, son of Eamon Doherty, of course, who also captained the squad. Sadhu Diallo, Adam O'Reilly, recent signing, Mark Conley, Shane McElhaney, Cian Kavanagh, Michael Duffy, Kieran Cole, Brian Maher, and tonight's captain, of course, is Will Patching. As soon as we have the pleasantries dispensed with, we'll be able to get things back underway in the 2023 season. Can get back in the action. Friday nights just haven't been the same, Peter, since the end of November.
No, everyone's been at sort of a little loss as such, do you know what I mean? And the World Cup even couldn't make up for it, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you can't beat sort of a live game.
Live games are what it's all about, and we're bringing you all the action here. Kickoff's coming up very, very shortly here on LOA TV. Hope you can stay with us, hope you enjoy the commentary and what will be on display tonight as Michael D. Higgins, the President of Ireland, takes the adulation from the crowd inside the Mark Farm stand. So we now will have the full national anthem. Conor McGinty will actually sing it. A warm round of applause for Conor McGinty, giving out his rendition of the national anthem, Aaron Nevane, and just milking it for all he can at the moment down in front of us here. So I think we're making a bit of football now, Peter.
Yeah, exactly. I think the players are fed up with and about now. Just want to get on with it.
Shamrock Rovers, a side you've faced many times. Is it one of those clubs that you sort of enjoyed always facing, or?
Yeah, because it's always a challenge. You know, they're always sort of equipped with good players, and they're always thereabouts over the years. So, yeah, no, you look forward to play, and then you know too, it's going to be a football game, you know, because they have their principles and they want to get it down and play football.
The best two teams in the league as well, so it's no surprise that they're actually coming together for this opening showpiece.
Yeah, exactly, and I think obviously Rovers ran out winners last year by, I think it was 13 points or stuff, but obviously that's the gap that Derry want to close now this year and even go one better, as I said earlier. But again, it's going to be very cagey, I think, to begin with, just to sort of test each other out, and they're not going to want to give too much away in terms of set pieces and things like that. With, I'm sure their opposition next week looking on.
The Shamrock Rovers just getting into position for a team photograph just to the right of tonight's referee, Mr. Neil Doyle. So a couple of new players for Derry City in the starting lineup tonight, one being Ben Doherty, as I've already mentioned. Sadhu Diallo as well will be looking to get a few minutes under his belt, having had the sit out the cup final, Peter. So I'd say he'd be relishing the fact of getting stuck onto a right few tackles tonight as well.
Yeah, it's tough tough on any player missing out, especially in a cup final. And it was devastating for him personally, obviously. But again, as you say, he'll be just looking to make amends this season and go on and feel as if he's part of the team that's going to win a bit of silverware again.
I'm actually glad that Derry City have opted for what we had last year as a European jersey, with the numbers the way they are on the back. It sort of makes it easier to see from our point of view as well as commentators.
Very much so, yeah. I thought it was just my eyes were going.
I believe there's going to be a minute's applause as well too for former captain Declan McDowell, I believe, Peter. I'm not sure if it's a minute's applause or a minute's silence, but it's a minute's applause. And also for Rory's brother Kevin, who tragically passed away. And of course, all of us here at LOA TV would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the entire Higgins family. You know, it's been a tough week for Rory. He's actually sat out a couple of friendlies, one against Stutes here at the Brandywell, but showing grit and determination to get on with his job and come out and manage Derry City tonight. And I'm sure the fans and the players are all behind him and wishing him all the best for the season ahead.
Yeah, it must have been a tough week for Rory and the family. We all pass on our condolences to both Rory and the extended family. So maybe we'll get things underway eventually here tonight. It's certainly a cold night here on Foyleside. There's a slight breeze just whooping around. Derry City getting into the huddle, and we're about to get things underway. Neil Doyle's been given the thumbs up from his fourth official, sinking all the watches. And it looks like Liam Burt will be getting the first touch of the 2023 season underway for Shamrock Rovers. I expect Rovers to play in a 3-3-2-2 formation, going by what Stephen Bradley was telling me just before kickoff. It was an opportunity to speak to him. Will Patching gets his first touch of the ball. Michael Duffy can't quite get on the end of it, and it's going to be an early throw in for Derry City. Number 14, Ben Doherty, now in his second spell at Derry City. Picked on by Patching, but it's come off his head. He's under a bit of pressure there from Marcus Poom. Ball's thrown back, and Dan Cleary into the centre finds Lopez. Lopez to Lee Grace. Dylan Mott's coming short. Grace can try and step away from the attention of Patching. The referee has seen an infringement there. That's going to be a free out for Shamrock Rovers. Darren Nugent over on this right hand side was looking for it. Instead, Rovers opt to go left. Kieran Cruz getting the first touch on it. Kieran Call managed to get it straight back, but under a bit of pressure. Johnny Kenny on loan from Celtic until the end of the season, while Shamrock Rovers was putting a bit of pressure on the under 21 international Brian Maher. Grace spreads it far and wide, trying to pick out Lopez. So Rovers just happy in possession at the moment. It's a lovely touch from Cruz, and then a heavy tackle from Mark Conley. Leaving it just minds timed it there.
And early Mark's just on his opposition. It's very hard even from here, Peter, to make out the Rovers' numbers on their backs.
Yeah. It's interesting to see Kieran Cole, to see how he does it at right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the Derry substitutes there. That obviously has no immediate right back, with the exception maybe of young Connor Barr. But maybe Rory thought it was too soon to sort of blood him as such, you know.
Yeah. It's going to be the first corner of the night to Shamrock Rovers as that ball came off said player Kieran Cole. And it's Dylan Watts who will take it. Former UCD Academy player. He's also at Leicester under 23s. So I'd say the abuse he's getting from the Derry fans just behind him and Block J there will not faze him at all.
If you look at the Shamrock Rovers, there's not even a player in the halfway line. No. Their deepest player sitting on the edge of the D.
Everybody bar Liam Poles was deep inside the Derry half there, and Brian Maher looking to get things underway very, very quickly. Long ball out of defence, trying to pick out Ben Doherty. Ben Doherty continues his run, gets the better. Oh, and he's been brought down by Dan Cleary as an innocuous foul. The Derry bench looked to Neil Doyle for the yellow card. It is eventually brought out, and Dan Cleary is the first player to get booked in tonight's fixture. Silly foul to give away. I think he knew that the younger player was getting away from him, Peter, and it was the sensible thing to do from a team point of view.
But young Ben done extremely well. He got in front of him and went across him, and he knew he was going to draw the foul. If the defender wouldn't touch him at all, he was going to ground. But again, it was good play by young Ben.
Just looking at the replay as well, Roberto Lopez was coming in behind him, so there was no sending off offence. He wasn't the last man, but Dan Cleary certainly taking one for the team there. So an opportunity for maybe Will Patching, wearing the number 8 this season, to test Leon Poles, the 25-year-old keeper. Both Patching and Ben Doherty standing over it. It's noticeable how a number of the Derry players are not actually in the box, Peter, compared to the last corner that came from Rovers. So obviously Will Patching fancies his chances from all of 20 yards. Patching does take it, just flashes wide of the Rovers upright.
I think most of the Derry players know there's no point of them going forward either, because Will's just going to hit it.
He's going to have a go and goal. So it's a short ball taken there, and Cian Kavanagh was just closing in on Liam Poles following that mistake between Lee Grace and the keeper Lopez. It was the opening fixture here last season that saw Roberto Lopez give the ball away to Jamie McGonigal. Jamie McGonigal's on the bench tonight, but Rovers very calmly trying to play it out of defence. Got back into play by Ben Doherty. We've certainly seen a lot of the action in the opening 5 minutes, Peter.
Yeah, he's done well. It's nicely he's sort of been put on as that midfield role, which when he went up to Coleraine, that's where he was at the start. Whereas more lately we learned he was playing as a left wing back as such, but it just shows you the energy and the pace he has, and he's a marauding sort of midfielder, not totally dissimilar to his father. Although Ben's left foot, I must say, is a lot better.
I'm sure Doc will not be too happy with comments like that, Peter, but I don't know if he's here tonight as well. But certainly he's been tracking his son's career since he started here with Derry City, came through the academy as well too, and as Peter says just before, he spent 3 seasons at Coleraine, but now back in his second season with the Candy Stripes, headed away by Mark Conley. Adam O'Reilly, a new start for Derry City, could do nothing about that, and eventually Kieran Cole, Donegal man, clears it. That's a lovely touch from Kavanagh into the path of Doherty. Doherty again goes past Dan Cleary. Dan Cleary can do nothing against it. Michael Duffy, gets his cross on, but it's well charged down by Roberto Lopez. So Michael Duffy looking to stretch the legs down that left channel. Gets the first corner of the evening for Derry City. And it's Patching who will take it. It's more like the formation now, Peter, where everyone is crowding into. Noticeable that there's nobody standing on top of the keeper, so there you have obviously worked on something. Mark Conley with the big header at the back, but it's over the crossbar. The referee has seen something. I think there might have been a push on Conley or come off a Rovers player last, but that's going to be another corner for Will Patching to maybe put a better delivery into the 18-yard box. A few instructions from the bench. Ben Doherty comes short, but Patching has made up his mind. He looks as if he's going to put the cross on. Floats it into the 6-yard box, headed away. O'Reilly can do nothing about it. Kieran Cole scrambles over to that right hand side. Conley safely into O'Brien. Headed away. And Richie Tyle clears, but only as far as Doherty. Doherty picks up in the air, finds patching. Diallo. To Mark Conley. Conley spotted Michael Duffy in a bit of space over in this left channel. Duffy shifts onto his right foot, tries to take it to the edge of the 18. Gets it back to Doherty. Doherty wraps his foot around it. It's just there's Adam O'Reilly and Cian Kavanagh inside the 18-yard box, but they could do nothing with that cross, and that's easy for Leon Poles just to gather and bowl out immediately to Grace. Short ball back again. They're almost inviting Derry to come under them, Peter, when they play it about inside the 18-yard box.
It was exactly the same this time last year as well. You touched on first game last season as well, although it was a lot windier that night and they were pinned back to by the wind and stuff, but they are very patient in trying to play out, but sometimes do their own downfall.
Shane McElhaney finds Diallo. Diallo with the forward ball, but that's easy for Grace. Grace forward to Cruz. He can do nothing about it as Kieran Call just picks his pocket and manages to pick out Ben Doherty. Ben Doherty wraps his left foot around it. Sends Cian Kavanagh scampering down. Roberto Lopez is there to cover, and then there's a shoulder in the back from Cian Kavanagh.
There's no harm.
No malice
here. He's there.
He's a big unit, Kavanagh. He scored a couple of important goals for Derry last season. One notable goal was at Inchicore against St Patrick's Athletic, who are Derry's first opponents in the 2023 season. That'll be on next Friday night when the season gets underway proper. So Cleary leaves it for Lopez. Just running down the clock. Lopez, Dublin born but holds African nationality. Cleared away. Cruz trying to head it on. Richie Tyle trying to get into the mix. Dara Nugent takes a touch, but the referee says nothing on it. Nice bit of interplay between Derry and Will Patching. With the balls, that's a heavy touch from Kavanagh, and they end up, but nice interplay. Peter just on the halfway line there to try and break the deadlock there and try and get through the Rovers defence.
Yeah, young Ben Doherty done well again. As I say, it just shows you the benefit of having a left footer playing left-sided. I mean, it just gives you that sort of that option.
Yeah, where he's not cutting on his right, and
exactly.
he's been forced, but 10.5 minutes gone. Neither side haven't really laid a glove on the other, and that's a free out for Rovers. Both managers just on the edge of their 18-yard or their technical area. But Dara Nugent had made the call, but not spotted by Grace. He might get a touch on this as the ball's flicked on, but instead Doherty leaves it for Brian Maher in the new goalkeeper's black and gold strip. Brought out by O'Brien. Finds Kavanagh again on that far right hand side. Sorry, Adam O'Reilly, I should be saying. I'm trying to get used to the new players, Peter, and I was calling him O'Brien, but it's Adam O'Reilly.
Yeah, came in from Preston.
Number 28. My
good
apologies.
box player. Good to see how he does this season.
And he spreads it from one side to the other, finds the new signing Ben Doherty. He gets his cross on the box, but it's cleared away. Combination of Lopez and Grace. Nugent finds Tyle. Tyle with a short layoff, doesn't quite come off for him. O'Reilly just squandered that pass there, trying to pick out the run of Ryan Graydon.
Derry at the moment look very solid. To be fair, Rovers are really struggling to try and play out.
Well, it's a very high line as well too. When you look, they've only the two here on Johnny Kenny at the moment. Dara Nugent coming on to play on Ben Doherty's shoulder just off camera, but And this is Stephen Bradley's game plan. They try and play it out of defence, but now they've got the break. Now they can break from defence. And eventually Richie Toyle does get the ball. He's got Dan Cleary on the overlap. Cleary waits. He's looking for options, but it's given Derry an opportunity to regroup. Comes inside. Plays it back to Marcus Poom. Poom spreads it to the left hand side. Again, Call under a bit of pressure. Does well. Diallo back to Maher. Maher eventually clears long downfield. Looking for Ryan Graydon. Doesn't quite come off from. Really. Shane McElhinney, all central defender for Derry City. Call. Finds O'Reilly. Back to Maher. Brian Maher likes to come out of his goal, and Lopez clears downfield, but it was it's one of those nervy moments.
Yeah,
Peter,
it's just very cagey at the moment. Both teams, I think, don't want to make a mistake more than go and try and make something happen.
Lopez, it's a mistake from Lopez, has allowed Michael Duffy to latch onto it. He's managed to find Cian Kavanagh, but Kavanagh can do nothing about that, and the first opportunity is wasted. It has come in the shape of a red and white jersey. And again, it looked all too easy. You can just see from the replay where Michael Duffy picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, but
yeah, he just tried to get out of his feet, fell over it.
Yeah, couldn't get onto his left foot. And again, O'Reilly seeing a lot of the ball, but Rovers can bring it away. Spreads it over to Kieran Cruz. Cruz just didn't time his run that well. It was a straight pass from Dylan Watts, and that's going to be a Derry City throw in. A big welcome to any Shamrock Rovers fans who may be tuned in tonight. Hope you're enjoying the game here on LOI TV. A shout out to Joe Donnelly as well, enjoying the game from the comfort of his armchair. Wasn't feeling too well lately, but I'm sure a goal or two here from Derry City's point of view as Ryan Graydon bursting down that right hand channel, tries to get some action from Michael Duffy. Yeah, Joe, hope you're feeling better soon. Toyle. He's a safely back to Grace. Pulls up a line. Cruz infield, finds Toyle in a bit of space. Richie Toyle has time to look around him, look for the pass. Darren Nugent was an option, but played back infield. Dylan Watts picks it up, and then it's a heavy tackle on Johnny Kenny. And it's going to be a free kick to Shamrock Rovers just inside the Derry half. Taken quickly. Poom over the top. Finds Nugent. Well, Nugent thought about pulling the trigger early. I think he just hesitated too long there, Peter. He just couldn't quite get his foot wrapped around it.
It was actually a very good ball by Pumba. He just seen the man running on behind the fullback and executed it well, but just the execution at the very end just let him down.
Great headed clearance there. Let's head it back on. It's Poom. And then there's a foul on the back, and Cian Kavanagh I think he's more angry with himself, Peter, because he knew that when the man at the shoulder went on the...
Yeah, he's letting them out now.
Yeah.
Poom apparently for Shamrock Rovers has done extremely well in pre-season. He's looked like a good acquisition. Darren
Nugent again, he's just screaming for it over in this right hand channel. Again, long ball pumped forward. Opportunity for Burt and Johnny Kenny to combine. Shifted on the right. It's a great cross, a delicious cross put on the box, but Brian Maher sort of slips and they end up. Richie Toyle can do nothing about it, but the under 21 international is able to find his feet.
And that's probably what Rovers need to do at the moment. Just they need to mix it up. They'll be a bit more direct, and with the pace of Johnny Kenny, it's an asset they should be trying to explore more.
Rovers playing a very high line as well. You know, they're standing nearly in the edge of Derry's 18-yard box every time we get a goal kick.
They are very high, yeah.
Yeah, so they're waiting for the short ball out as well. It's Kavanagh trying to get the better of Lopez. It's up to Dylan Watts just to see it safely back to Leon Poles. 25-year-old keeper deputising tonight in the absence of Alan Manis, who is on the bench for Shamrock Rovers. Watts trying to pick out the run of Cruz and get a second bite at it. He's found Dan Cleary with the ball down the channel, but Shane McElhinney had come across and cleared. That's going to be a throw in to Shamrock Rovers. Richie Toyle trying to show a clean pair of heels to Ben Doherty. He does get his cross under the box, but I thought it went over the touchline. Was that a goal kick, Peter?
No, I think he just saved it, yeah, just before it went out. But I think Ben just got a slight touch on it, just the deflection just slowed it down.
So again, Rovers playing a very high line, putting pressure on the Derry defence. And Ben Doherty trying to release Cian Kavanagh again, but that's easy for Leon Poles to come the whole way out of his 18-yard box and just play it in front of Lee Grace. Back with Lopez. Lopez, the Shamrock Rovers captain, long ball down the right channel. Shane McElhinney throws it on his chest and he's just forced out over the touchline, and that's going to be a Rovers throw-in. So Dara Nugent will take the throw-in. Adam O'Reilly couldn't quite get on the end of it. Dylan Watts wraps his foot around it. Kieran Cole meets it with his head, and eventually Mark Connolly can clear downfield. Connolly, of course, played with Dundee United, and it's a lovely ballsy.
It's an important
Richie
touch
Toyle,
there.
yeah.
Very important touch.
Well read by Shane McElhinney. As the flares and smoke bombs goes off over in Block K. Long ball out of defence, met by the head of Grace. Dan Cleary trying to get away from Michael Duffy. Darren Nugent takes the throw on quickly.
I think you can see the way both managers contest that throw in, that this isn't a friendly.
Dan Cleary will know everything about Michael Duffy, having played with him at Dundalk, of course. But Rovers,
You'll know he's on for a busy night.
He will. Ball's out over the top. Mark Connolly heads it out of defence, and Adam O'Reilly clears downfield. Nugent with a heavy touch finds Toyle. Toyle has spotted the fact that Dan Cleary was in the overlap. Steps back to Toyle. Toyle lifts it into the Derry box, but it's headed away by Shane McElhinney. Dylan Watts sees it safely back to Lee Grace. Lopez with the ball. He'd seen that Richie Toyle was running down that channel. Toyle had sort of indicated with his right hand where he wanted it, but ball was too close to Brian Maher, and that's going to be a goal kick to Derry City. A very muted crowd at the moment to one side of the Brandywell. Shamrock Rovers have come down. There's about 100 or so fans over to our left hand side. As Darren Nugent feels the full brunt of a Ben Doherty tackle, but he's done well as young Nugent, and unfortunately for him the ball had just run out. Of course, former UCD and Longford Town player, 21 years of age, now playing his trade at Tala. Kavanagh. Darren Nugent does well. Back to Dan Cleary. Cleary heads long downfield. Kieran Cole has time. Steps over it, steps away from the challenge of Johnny Kenny. McElhinney His brother Patrick, of course, with a niggling injury that Rory Higgins didn't want a chance tonight. As the ball's put into the box, and it's a final touch. I'm not sure if that was an own goal, but I think Adam O'Reilly maybe claiming it, Peter.
Oh, I think it might have been patching. No, it was a good goal.
Was it patching?
It was a good ball, good pull back by Michael Duffy. He just put it on the near post.
We'll soon see from the replay that Derry taking the lead in the 23rd minute. Yeah, Michael
Puts
Duffy
it back here, yeah.
does well.
I think it's patching.
Cuts it on. It is well patching, it is. So the Derry captain makes it 1-0 in the 23rd minute.
Good finish.
Just a side-footed touch past the outstretched arms of Liam Pauls. So first blood to Derry City, as Stephen Bradley gives a few instructions to Marcus Poom and Darren Nugent down in front of us. So Derry City break the deadlock here in the President's Cup 2023.
There's not very many can stop Michael Duffy when you give him a bit of space on a 1-to-1 situation, and he exploited that space there too.
And Derry City looking to build on that, but Cleary sees it safely back to Grace, and Grace is spotted again. Darren Nugent, as I said in my early commentary, he's been screaming for everything down the left channel, or sorry, the right channel for Rovers so far. He got his wish on that occasion, but Derry can clear through Mark Connolly. Ryan Graydon takes a heavy touch, and Rovers can advance, but unfortunately for Lee Grace, he just ran out of pitch, and that's going to be, well, no, it took a touch off Graydon, so it's going to be a Rovers throw. Colin Watts finds Grace. Poom had come short. Lopez. Lopez finds Watts again. Watts steps away from one challenge, trying to find Darren Nugent, but good bit of play by young Ben Doherty. Yeah, he's just pointing out the fact that Nugent had advanced maybe about 10 yards, but Neil Doyle is having none of it, and he's telling Nugent to come right the whole way back, all of about 10 yards. Well, Ben Doherty certainly made his mark, Peter, in the opening 25 minutes as well. He's shown for everything, and he's not afraid to get forward as well too. So a good return to the Candy Stripes for
no, he settled in really well.
Doc's son.
Yeah, and he was always a good athlete. And he has a lovely left foot, so he can play various positions. But it'd be nice to do a job tonight, left back, and he's more than capable.
Derry City, of course, without Cameron Dummigan, Cameron McJanet, as I already mentioned, Patrick McLeany. Rory Higgins was telling us in the earlier interview that he just didn't want to take a chance with all of them, and it was an opportunity to give Adam O'Reilly a run out, and as I say, Saturday. Oh, it's a mistake from Ben Doherty, and it's allowed on Johnny Kenny. He just slips it in, trying to slip it on the path of Liam Burt, but it just evaded Burt, and it goes away from the feet of the Shamrock Rovers player as Ryan Graydon sees it safely back to Kieran Cole. Lovely touch over the top at Mark Connolly. The no-nonsense central defender heads away, and that's a throw in to Rovers, taken quickly. Grace finds Cruz on the overlap. He's got behind Connolly in that instance, but Cole, Connolly just managed to shade it, and the ball goes out for another Derry City goal kick. So Derry City 1-0 up here in the President's Cup 2023. Just see the mistake from Ben Doherty. Just allowed on Johnny Kenny.
Hesitated, and the chance was gone.
Flicked on by Graydon, a big winger. Of course, he had a hand on the first goal in the FA Cup final, where he took a great pass from Patrick McLeany over on the right channel to feed Jamie McGonigal for the first goal. Jamie on the subs bench tonight. Again, it's another great cross on the box. Burt with the layoff. I think
just leaning back.
I think that's Marcus Poom who'd be maybe a bit embarrassed with that attempt. Yeah, as you say, Peter, just leaning back, you need to get your head over balls like that. It's a nice layoff. Just even the side foot too. You never really got the laces behind it. Cian Kavanagh looking for a foul, but the referee waves play on. Derry in their sentence at the moment. Michael Duffy. Diallo. Just helped on its way back into the path of Brian Maher. Johnny Kenny trying to close him down. Ryan Graydon with the head, but that came off the young Rovers player in the end up, and it's going to be a throw in to Derry City. Kieran Call. As well, all the Derry players as well wearing black armbands in memory of Roy Higgins' brother Kevin. As Kavanagh just can't quite get on the end of it, and it's eventually cleared out of defence.
It's a good battle between them two.
Toyle over the top. He's left it for Dan Cleary. Darren Nugent didn't really continue his run, which gives him no option but to try and find Johnny Kenny. Shane McElhinney does well, stands up, finds Diallo. It's a nice touch from Diallo just to bring it under control. Then he's bundled over by Toyle, and I think that's going to be a throw-in. I thought the referee thought about the foul, but the linesman had already signalled. Darren Nugent again trying to dig out another 10 yards, but he throws it back to Dan Cleary, and Cleary sees it safely back to Roberto Lopez. Lopez finds Poom to Dylan Watts. Dylan Watts does a 360 away from the attention of Will Patching. It's a great ball forward, clever from Toyle to find Nugent. Toyle just invited Shane McElhinney onto his right hand side. Throw one's taken quickly. Toyle back to Cleary. Cleary with a lovely back heel into Poom. Finds Nugent, back to Poom. Left footed, just slices it across the Derry back line, but Kieran Call was equal to it, and Ryan Graydon will chase it down, just doesn't quite keep it in play, and that's going to be a Rovers throw in. A wee bit of afters there, Peter. Neil Doyle doesn't want to. No, he's just
pull them together.
Yeah. I actually admire Neil Doyle for pulling up players like that, because he's a no-nonsense referee, and he'll not take any misdemeanors or anything likely. Yeah, he does. He does. 100%. Cleary to the back post, but again away by Call. Call took a touch. Very noticeable in the English game at the moment too, when players make mistakes, they go down far too easily, clutching their head, even though they never even got an injury to it, because they know the referee has been ordered nearly to stop play. And I think it's one of the features that they need to eradicate, because of the head injury.
Yeah, definitely. There are some players that are being cute and taking it to their advantage as such.
Yeah. Kieran Call had the opportunity to do so there, but the Donegal man, he's no slight. He enjoys a crunch and tackle as much as the next player. Dan Cleary needs to be careful here, does well. Finds Grace and Phil. Cruz can do nothing about that, and that's going to be a throw on to Derry, which Kieran Call will take. It's all become a bit muted. We're coming up on 31.5 minutes, so 13.5 minutes to half time. Derry still holding on to that 1-0 lead thanks to a Will Patching side foot in the 23rd minute. Both sides with attack in mind. As Michael Duffy can't quite get on the end of that. Mark Connolly does, and Roberto Lopez just holds up the run of Cian Kavanagh, and immediately Leon Poles bowls it over to Dan Cleary. Poom finds Grace. Poom was looking for the 1-2. Grace continues his run. And Burt had made a run there, but Rovers just couldn't quite capitalise on it. Cleary with a ball over the top, looking for a run at Johnny Kenny. Kenny heads it back cleverly to Darren Nugent. Nugent continues his run, tries to go past Ben Doherty, goes to the byline, gets his cross and flicked on there at the back post. I tell you, people mightn't see that, but I think it was a very important touch from Shane McElhinney there, Peter.
Yeah, because there's a man just coming on behind him. Just important touch. But you can see this sort of at the minute the contrasting styles, whereas Rovers are trying to be patient and build it up through the thirds, whereas Derry, because of the pace they have up front in the front three, they're trying to go a wee bit more direct and quicker.
Yeah, just looking at Cian Kavanagh and Ryan Graydon, the two big units as well too, so they're the type of player that's in your face. Shane McElhinney manages to evade Richie Toyle and Johnny Kenny and spread it from one side to the other. Michael Duffy cuts on field, finds Diallo. If somebody came in now and thought the score was 0-0, you couldn't misjudge it either, because it's just that the two teams just seem to be equal at the moment, Peter.
Yeah,
even though Derry have got that slender goal,
they're more or less just cancelling each other out. Yeah, as I say, at the minute it's just still been very cagey. Nice bit of play by Adam O'Reilly, and then he's eventually bundled over by Plum, and that's going to be a free kick. Well, the referee couldn't have been in a better spot. Yeah, it's right beside it, so I don't know why Plum was going to even argue. I'm not sure if he's got the magic spray or not, but unless there's an issue with the ball, because Patching just sort of kicked it out of the way. I'm not sure if there's an issue. Ben Doherty's just checking it to make sure, but I think we should be able to get things back underway very quickly. The fourth official's been dispatched to get another ball, so one change of ball. Patching will not change his mind when it comes to taking the free kicks, although Ben Doherty will join him, as we've seen earlier on in the game. 34.5 minutes gone. Free kick to Derry, 30 yards out. He's not going to fancy it from this distance, is he? He's looking for runners, he's looking for people to move. He does drive it in, and again Liam Poles gets down to his left hand side. And it's a decent save from the keeper in the end up. Toyle to Cleary. Cleary spreads it back to Grace. Plum's looking short. Donald Watts has come forward. Grace. Ball over the top. And quite pick out Burt. Burt does get a touch on it and doesn't keep it in play. Linesman still hasn't flagged, so the ball is in play. Richie Toyle continues his run. Toyle, the ball's bobbling about. Oh, that's a flashing shot from Richie Toyle. And I tell you what, that was ever so close, because it was unlucky. It just sat up lovely for him. Yeah. And he just had it early.
I just thought it had bobbled one touch too much, yeah. But he certainly got his laces behind it. You can just see it bobbling there, but he had only one option on his mind, and Brian Maher, I think, realised in the end up. Richie Toyle, of course, having played for Celtic and Hibs, he's one of the standout players in the League of Ireland at the moment, and has been for quite a few number of years. We're on the hoops of Rovers at the moment. Dan Cleary is calling for it over on this left hand side. Dan Cleary hasn't quite seen it, or Lee Grace hasn't quite seen him just yet. Grace, short ball to Dylan Watts. Watts eventually does find Cleary. Michael Duffy closing him down. Back with Watts. Watts with a clever ball over the top. Shane McElhinney throws his head at it. Johnny Kenny loses out, and Adam O'Reilly can bring it away for Derry City. Nice bit of interplay from foot to foot there by the latest Derry City signing. Johnny Kenny finds Liam Burt. Rovers again through Richie Toyle. Finds Cleary. Lee Grace. Darren Nugent. Nugent just touches it under the path, and Ben Doherty comes across shoulder to shoulder against Nugent.
Clever Shamrock Rovers play in the final third, particularly, it's too slow, and it's allowing Derry just to get back and get compact, and and force sort of Rovers wide where Derry want them. They need just in round, particularly in the last third, they need to move the ball a lot quicker.
Yeah, you see the tackle from Ben Doherty, totally legal, shoulder on shoulder, and the kick to Derry City taken quickly. Duffy try to clever flick under the path of Wall Patching, didn't quite come off him, but Duffy has continued his run, and then Lopez commits the foul, and I think Neil Doyle realised that Derry had just lost out possession and gives the free kick to the Candy Stripes. I don't think Lopez had realised that Michael Duffy had continued his run. You can just see from the replay here, it's just been sort of blindsided by him there.
Yeah.
It's Neil Doyle just making sure that Shane McElhinney takes it from the proper occasion when the foul was committed. So Rovers break. And Brian Marr finds Connolly. Connolly again looking to spread from one side to the other. Michael Duffy had a bit of space. Ben Doherty continues his run on the overlap. Duffy cuts inside, goes for the audacious shot. Oh, and it was slipped underneath the arms of Leon Pauls. An awful mistake from the 25-year-old goalkeeper, but a fortuitous goal for Michael Duffy, Peter.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. If you don't shoot, you don't score. Poor mistake by the keeper. But again, it was good movement by young Ben Doherty to go outside. Michael left the sort of fullback in two minds whether to go inside with Michael or follow Ben. He went in and he could keep it in target, but a poor mistake for the keeper.
Yeah. He'll be slightly red-faced when he sees that later on the socials, but Michael Duffy with the broadest grin for Derry City makes it 2-0 in the President's Cup in the 39th minute, and Rovers trying to get back into things straight away, but Michael Duffy, the goal scorer, manages to find Cian Kavanagh, but he loses out in the end up, and Rovers can try and bring it away through young Kieran Cruz. Touch back to Kieran Cole. Cole and Liam Burt come out as Johnny Kenny combined, but it's safely back to Brian Marr, and he clears down over the halfway line. Kavanagh trying to get away from Lopez, and the referee has seen an infringement on Kieran Cole, so I'm not sure he's going to call the ball back now anyway. The Derry players just surrounding Neil Doyle there. I think it might actually be Liam Burt who was. It is Liam Burt, but Mark Connolly just making sure he doesn't get involved. Brian Maher had been scolded by Neil Doyle and told to get back into his 18-yard box. Kieran Cole obviously felt that there was an infringement there, Peter. They make the...
Yeah, he's arguing his case there.
His case, yeah. I'd say we might see a drop ball here. Lee Grace was holding very firmly onto the ball. It's a free out for Rovers, much to the discontent of the Derry fans here in the Brandywell. So Lopez short to Watts. Watts finds Cleary. Cleary infield. Finds Poom. Poom with the ball over the top, but Ben Doherty's equal to that. Poom heads it back into the danger area. Shane McElhinney makes it with his head, and Ryan Graydon finds Kieran Cole. Cole. There's the challenge for Liam Burt. Kieran Cole certainly done the worst, but I think the tackle.
Both of them are feeling aggrieved.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't fall too kindly for Burt in the end up, and but thankfully both players on their feet again. You see Cole just takes a touch, and then the trailing shin nearly from Liam Burt. There's Brian Maher very coolly finds Ben Doherty. Nice touch from the young Derry man. He was looking for a run at Kavanagh.
Yeah,
and he's just telling him to continue his run. Yeah. I think Kavanagh had no option, but because he'd just ran onto a cul-de-sac of two Rovers players as well. Watts finds Cleary. 3 minutes to half time. Cleary's done really well. Finds Toyle. Toyle with the overlap, but Doherty just down under the challenge of Darren Nugent, and that's going to be a free out for Derry City. Can't see too much time being added to the half-time whistle, because there was no real stoppages. call, immediately closed down by Burt again, finds Graydon. Graydon in the field finds O'Reilly. He's offside if he touches that, I would say, Peter. Although he just gave up the ghost. I think he realised that it was a nothing ball and he couldn't reach it anyway, so it's going to be a goal kick rather than sacrifice the free. Taken short. Boom. Finds Grace. And caught. Back down to O'Reilly. Adam O'Reilly, the new signing for Derry City, seeing a lot of the ball in the opening 45 minutes of this game. He's on it now. Steps away from the challenge of Poon. Doherty. He's got Duffy in overlap. Duffy's bundled over by Dan.
Given no other way.
Neil Doyle reckons that it's actually Cian Kavanagh was pulling on the jersey of Dan Cleary. Kavanagh goes down, he's holding his head, so just see from the replay here. Ball forward from Doherty. And, well,
it's a bit harsh.
It's a soft free from a Rovers point of view, but they've won it and they take it quickly through the centre. And Poom, Marcus Poom, as Adam O'Reilly regains possession for Derry City. Just couldn't quite pick out the pass to Graydon. Cruz back on field. Let's get Dylan Watts at full stretch. And Lopez short finds Watts. Watts looking to bring Cruz and Burt into the game, but again headed away by Call. Rovers very it's a mistake from Graydon. Puts his hand up just to apologise. 1 minute to half time now. Hopefully myself and Peter will get a warm cup of tea just to maybe bring us round a bit. The game has sort of become it's just a bit damp, Peter. Like there's no real noise from the crowd. There's nothing really to
I
G
think
them
even
up.
the crowd are probably waiting on the players. They create something, to do something. It's been a game of few chances, barring the goals, obviously.
That's the third time Darren Nugent has tried to gain 4 or 5 yards with a throw in, and Neil Doyle's equalled him. Nugent went down under the challenge of Diallo, but the referee waves play on. Ball's played forward. Lopez controls it with his chest. Nugent, short ball given away, doesn't find Johnny Kenny. Wall patching shows a trick or two. Manages to find Michael Duffy. Duffy thought of it, overlap, and Dan Cleary is treading the very thin line here.
Without a booking.
He's already been booked, so he is treading on thin ice. But he knew what Michael Duffy, like we could see what Michael Duffy was thinking.
To be honest, I think if it was anywhere else in the pitch, it would have been a booking. Because he's just taking him out. Yeah,
the Derry players know as well too that Cleary has been booked, and he's the furthest player from the ball now, so he's obviously wants to get away from the glare of Neil Doyle. There's 1 minute of additional time, I should say, as well too, which was just flashed up before that incident happened. As the ball's taken quickly, finds Adam O'Reilly. O'Reilly spreads over to Graydon. And a step away from the challenge of Lee Grace. Graydon does well, but Grace does better. And with that, Neil Doyle blows the whistle to signal half time. It was a half that wasn't really great. It took 23 minutes before the deadlock was broke when Will Patching latched onto a Michael Duffy cross and side-footed it past the outstretched hands of Liam Poles. Derry City had to wait a further 16 minutes before Michael Duffy had a fortuitous shot from all of 30 yards out, and that just went in under the arms of Poles. And the score at half-time here at the Brandywell is Derry City 2, Shamrock Rovers 0. And bar the 2 goals, Peter, I can't really remember anything of note in the first half.
No, to be fair, Derry obviously be the happier, never mind the scoreline, but just the general play as well, because Rovers, barring a couple of maybe crosses and that, and Richie Toyle's shot, haven't really created anything as such. Derry, similarly, outside of the 2 goals, haven't created a lot, but they've had a more sort of, I think, of an attacking threat.
Yeah,
whereas Rovers at the moment are a bit predictable.
It was the Cian Kavanagh just couldn't quite get the ball under his feet to get his shot away from. And again, good work by Michael Duffy, just putting pressure on Lopez. Lopez just taking his eye off the ball. But I think Derry maybe slightly shading it as that's Duffy's cross and Patching just side footing it past.
He took it well.
I think Pauls might have been thinking that Kavanagh was the target. He's just he's sort of going to his left and then he comes to his right with his right arm, but Patching very clever, and that was the mistake.
Just hesitated there.
Johnny Kenny, he was looking for Liam Burt on the overlap.
Out, yeah.
And Derry were able to clear their lines. I don't know what he was thinking there, maybe thinking of
I think he didn't see the player, he was on behind Shane McElhaney.
It's a good bit of shielding as well. Adam O'Reilly was noticeable as well too, so this is the Richie Toyle effort where I thought with a bobble there it got away from him, but he did get the laces behind it. He was just, if it had been 3 or 4 yards further out, he made
just
have
sits
got the
up for
target.
him nice, and to be fair he keeps it down. Just inches over.
And this is the shot from Michael Duffy. Liam Pauls got down well, but he just couldn't do anything about it, just squirming underneath his legs and leaving him very red-faced in the process.
Poor from the keeper. As the old saying goes, if you don't shoot, you don't score.
So there you are. We'll be back in about 15 minutes' time for all the action in the 2023 President's Cup. But as it stands at half-time, it's Derry City 2, Shamrock Rovers 0. So welcome back to the second half. Derry City holding that slender 2-0 lead against Shamrock Rovers. I'm just checking updates from my phone there. It looks like Shamrock Rovers are going to make 3 subs here at half time. The board hasn't yet gone up. Maybe even 4 subs. Oh, 3 subs.
4, yeah.
Yeah, it is 4 subs, yeah. So number 6, Dan Cleary, has been replaced by Trevor Clark. Number 17, Richie Toyle, being replaced by number 29, Jack Byrne. 27 is Liam Burt. He's going to be replaced by number 10, Graham Burke. And number 15, Darren Nugent, is getting replaced by Neil Farouja. Myself and Peter making scribbled notes here so we can keep on top of all the changes made at half time. So Rovers and Derry get things back underway for the start of this second half. And immediately the ball's played down that left hand side. So change of personnel from Stephen Bradley at half time. Rory Higgins happy with his starting 11 to start the second half. Throw in. Can't do nothing about that. And Rovers clear down the right channel. Ball's eventually gone out. Shane McElhinney just remonstrating with the linesman. Mickey the suit Doherty apparently is annoying John, his son, again. He's not well, so leave him alone, Mickey. And Mickey McDermott down in the Magnet, enjoying the game as well. Wall patching, stretches his legs, gets away from 3 Rovers players, but it's eventually cleared long downfield, only as far as Kieran Call. Forgive me if I don't get the Rovers players' names right straight away, because their numbers on their back are very hard to make out. But that's a long ball forward, and it's Johnny Kenny on the edge of it. Shane McElhinney shows him over to his left hand side, and Brian Maher does well to keep it under control, just gallers it under his chest. But Rovers showing a bit of intent in the opening first minutes of the second half, Peter.
It was a good ball forward, and it suits Johnny Kenny because of his pace. Whereas previously in the first half, the build-up for Shamrock Rovers has been so slow, he can't really utilise his pace because there's no space for him to run into. Whereas on that occasion there was plenty of space, but again he just went too wide with his first touch.
Yeah, Graham Burke just couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's back with Brian Maher. Mark Conley just safely over the head of Johnny Kenny. Manages to find Maher. Shane McElhinney stretching those long legs. Finds Michael Duffy. Duffy just couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's cleared away. Shane McElhinney raises the head. Adam O'Reilly steps out of up over the halfway line for Derry City. Dan Doherty could do nothing about that. And the ball's back with Shamrock Rovers. Oh, it's a mistake. Was allowed Ryan Graydon on. Graydon stretches away. And then, oh, it's a stinger from Wall Patching. And then Duffy on overlap just can only hit the side netting. But again, Rovers living very dangerously. It was Trevor Clark, I think, was the fullback.
Yeah, it was great pressure from Ryan Graydon.
It was actually Neil Farouja, the number 23. Peter, sorry, I was getting the numbers mixed up there. But Ryan Graydon with a great opportunity, and Michael Duffy on the follow-up.
Again, great strike with Graydon. Unfortunate for him.
That ball has gone out. No, the linesman says play on. Sado Diallo sees it safely back to Shane McElhinney. Shane spreads it over to Kieran Call. O'Reilly. Graydon looking for the overlapping run. It's sort of checked back there, but it's a poor pass out by O'Reilly. recent acquisition, I should say, for Derry City. He joined in January in a 2-year deal from Preston North End. He was on loan at St Pat's last year, and he's felt the full brunt of a tackle from Trevor Clark on that instance. So it's going to be a free kick. Kieran Call takes. Call trying to float it into the Shamrock Rovers 18-yard box, but Neil Ferrugia does well to clear for the hoops. Second opportunity for Call. Well, patching had Shodford, stops, checks, and then gets the ball back under a bit of pressure from Graham Burke. Oh, that's a lovely nutmeg there, just to embarrass Trevor Clark. And then Graydon goes down on the box, never a penalty in any man's book. Lopez safely to Dylan Watts, and then again Trevor Clark goes down following a heavy tackle from Graydon.
I think he bought that one.
Yeah.
I think Rovers have just struggling to get settled here since making them 4 changes. It seems they've unsettled them a wee bit. They just need to get a wee foothold in the game at the moment.
You see patching here, lovely bit of play, and then the nutmeg on Trevor Clark. Derry scrambling for everything at the moment. It has opening 5 minutes of the second half has been very scrappy, but Derry City certainly with the best opportunity of the second half so far. Following that Ryan Graydon attempt on the follow by Michael Duffy. It's going to be a throw in to Derry. Kieran Call, former Funhouse man, of course, in his 4th season with Derry City. Call with a long throw, finds patching, but it's flicked away from his head by Clark. Picked up well by Burke. Burke just trying to play it into the danger area. Dylan Watts can pick things up for Shamrock Rovers. Back with Lopez. Watts in field finds Poom. Poom finds Burke. Burke thought about the first time shot. He's got Clark on the overlap. Clark cross under the box. It's going to fall to Burke. Oh, and Burke gets a shot away, but Mark Connolly throws his full body in front of it. Ball's flashed across the 6-yard line. But again, Ben Doherty does well and clears. It's back on. Patching, trying to get something on it. Lopez turns away and is forced to go the whole way back to Liam Poles in the Shamrock Rovers goal. Poles is a long way out. Lee Grace and field finds Watts. Watts goes down under a heavy challenge from Sadou Diallo, and Diallo is going to pick up a booking for that. Second booking of the night goes Sadou Diallo's way. The first one coming in the first half as Dan Cleary got booked for an innocuous challenge on Michael Duffy. So Roberto Lopez, the Rovers captain, standing over this free kick. Back with Clark. It's the young Kieran Cruz. But again, cleared away. Ian Kavanagh just holding off the attention of Lopez. The referee waves play on.
Good strength.
Ferrugia finds Burke. Burke with a nice touch and field. Back to Lopez. Dylan Watts under the path of Burke. Burke just trying to release Trevor Clark down that channel. Was picked up well by Watts. Oh, and it's a heavy touch in the end up from Kieran Cruz. And the ball goes out over the touchline for a Derry throw-in. Trevor Clark could do absolutely nothing about that. But Brian Maher is going down inside the Derry 6-yard box, clutching his right thigh. So Michael Higgerty asked to be dispatched from the Derry dugout, just to make sure that the under-21 international goalkeeper is okay to continue. 53 minutes gone, still Derry City 2, Shamrock Rovers 0 in the President's Cup. Rory Higgins has got 5 of the Derry players in a huddle as Jamie McGonigal looks to be getting stripped to come on very, very shortly. McGonigal, of course, Derry's leading goal scorer last season. Of course, scored a memorable goal here against Shamrock Rovers in the opening fixture last season. Peter, when Lopez made that mistake, as you mentioned, it was a very windy night that night, but he certainly capitalised on it. He still had a lot to do when he picked the ball up, but he took it into the 18-yard box and put it past Alan Manus for the winner.
Yeah, it was an exceptional strike. Exceptional strike. I think Lopez himself knows he should have just put it over the line. But again, Rovers have their principles and they still want to play it all times. But to their detriment at that night.
Well, Brian Maher's got up. He looks a bit ginger. We're walking gingerly.
You'd just be concerned about it because it wasn't as if he's been involved in any action when he went down, so just be concerned.
So we will eventually get things back underway through Kieran Call. Diallo had come short. Will patching as an option. But again, Marcus Poon on patching shoulder. Lopez eventually clears. Adam O'Reilly trying to get back possession for Derry City, but he's given it away following a challenge on number Jack Byrne. And we will see the substitution for Derry City, and it is Cian Kavanagh making way for Derry's leading goal scorer from 2022, Jamie McGonigal.
Kavanagh's done well. He's put himself about.
Yeah, he's threw himself about, as you say, and he's a big unit.
Yeah, he's a big presence up there. Done a good shift.
Kavanagh, of course, a former under-21 international from Dublin. He moved from Cowdenbeath to Waterford in 2021 and joined Derry last July. So a clever move in the transfer market from Rory Higgins. Ben Doherty gets an opportunity to allow Jamie McGonigal to stretch those fresh legs, but Lee Grace was equal to it. And it's back with Poles. Poles plays the short ball to Lopez. Boom, gets it back, and then he's forced into the air, but the ball had come off at Michael Duffy last. Back with Grace. Trevor Clark scouting for it over in this right channel, but there he can try and break through Kieran Call and Ben Doherty. I think that's our Rovers throw on, Peter. Yeah. So Ben Doherty adjudged to have touched it last. Cleared eventually out of defence. That's going to be easy for Shane McElhinney just to see it safely back to Brian Maher. Maher, first time clearance with the right foot. Up to Ryan Graydon, coming back from an offside position. Graham Burke latching onto that pass, trying to get into the 18-yard box, but he's been shielded over it by Adam O'Reilly. Peter, we were chatting about him at half time. He has a real engine in him, so
he read it extremely well and put his body in front of him, just got across him, and it's fantastic covering.
He's certainly endearing himself to the Derry City faithful. He was right on behind the back four there on that occasion too, and he just held off the challenge of Burke. Burke could do nothing about it because he shielded the ball that well.
Yeah, great play.
So free kick for Derry. Mark Connolly clears downfield as far as Michael Duffy. Duffy under a bit of pressure from Ferrugia. McGonigal. Lopez on his shoulder. Lopez will not want to embarrass himself again this year and allow the opportunity for Jamie McGonigal to get in on goal. The referee waves away that petition of an offside, and Rovers can try and break from the back, and that's a silly tackle from Ryan Graydon. On the number 18, Trevor Clark. Diallo finds McGonigal. Lee Grace just making sure that Jamie McGonigal didn't get his cross under the box as Leon Poles goes to the ball boys behind the goal, looking to get things back underway.
The game has definitely opened up a wee bit this half, particularly in the midfield area. Players are finding a lot more space for both sides.
So Will Patching will take the corner kick. And Doyle just having a look around the 6-yard box. There's about a to and fro there. Sarah Diallo throwing himself about. Patching lifts it on to the edge of the 6-yard box. Shane McElhinney was just waiting at the back post, trying to pick up on the scraps, and he's let the ball run out. That's going to be a corner kick for Derry City, taken from this left hand side of Leon Poles upright.
Rovers player back in their own 18.
It's a very crowded 18-yard box, Peter. Yeah. So Ben Doherty will take it from this side, gives the signal. It's a high ball to the back post. It's headed down well. Jamie McGonigal trying with the overhead, and then really throwing himself at it. Kieran Call can bring that down.
Good opportunity for Derry. It was free header, man, completely unmarked.
And Brian Maher immediately dispatches it downfield again, looking to get the ball back into the danger area. Cleared away well there. Again, Rovers not resting on their laurels, looking to get something back out of this game. Of course, a goal from Rovers would make it a very entertaining last 30 minutes or so, Peter, because it's just a 1-goal deficit then.
Yeah, well, next goal sort of is crucial in terms of, I think Derry get it, obviously the game's over. It's a contest. If Rovers do get it, then it's game on.
I think the Derry crowd, and there's an Rovers sub getting ready to come on. Number 9, Aaron Green, and number 14, Simon Power. So Stephen Bradley just giving a few last minute instructions to the two subs. Call sort of faint unfield, but didn't quite reach Will Patching. Mark Connolly holds off the attention of Johnny Kenny.
Yeah, again, Mark Connolly and Big Shane have done extremely well. I mean, Rovers have had really very little any ball retention in Derry's final third, and that's obviously why they're looking to look at Aaron Green now coming on. Maybe they hold it up a wee bit more so Rovers can get up the pitch more.
And Doherty again looking to get in on everything over on that far left hand side. As Sado Diallo rides one tackle and manages to find Mark Connolly. Connolly looks to his left. Duffy does well to keep it on play. Tries to nutmeg himself, doesn't quite come off from him. And Rovers can break, trying to find Johnny Kenny. But again, Shane McElhinney read that well. Finds Call. He's put a ball along the ground play from Derry City at the moment. Just inviting Rovers onto them. Shane McElhinney finds Diallo. Diallo just ran into a cul-de-sac of hoop jerseys there, but Maher immediately finds Rovers. Rovers seem to be more in step as well too in the second half, Peter. You know, they seem to have a bit more life about them.
Yeah, they've more energy. I think sort of likes the Richie Toll doesn't get about the park as much as he would like himself. The younger players they've brought on at half time have a bit more energy about them. They're trying to sort of impact this game at the moment.
Well, Derry can break through Will Patching. He's looking for options. Jim McGonigal's a man against 4 at the moment. He's on his own up there on the front line for Derry. Patching trying to lift it into this penalty area, but that's easy for Leon Poles just to gather and pluck out of the night sky. Still no opportunity for the two Rover subs, Green and Power, to come on. Poom finds Burke. Burke has got Trevor Clark over on the left hand side, finds Clark. Clark trying to get onto his favoured left foot. Back with Watts. Burke steps away from Kieran Call. Burke still, but showed too much of that to Mark Connolly. And the big Scottish defender does really well. And then Patching tried to clear, but Watts had just closed him down, and now the opportunity for Rovers to make those changes comes. And it's Dylan Watts who will make way, along with Johnny Kenny. A fresh bit of impetus for Stephen Bradley's men. If you could see my notepad at the moment, it's just a scribble where I'm trying to keep the numbers right and the names in the right positions. We will eventually get things back underway. There's about 25 minutes remaining in this fixture. Derry City holding on to that 2-0 goal lead thanks to goals from Will Patching and Michael Duffy in the first half. Derry City made a sub as well too, because it was Jordan McAnuff has come on. Peter, I don't know who went off for Derry.
I think it was Graydon,
Ryan Graydon. Jordan McAnuff, of course, scored the final goal in that 4-0 thrashing of Shelbourne in November at the Aviva. Just made sure that Derry City lifted the FAA Cup.
Jordan's a very talented footballer.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can stay injury free this season and have a big impact on the season.
Well, you don't go to Arsenal and be lauded as a future potential without having that potential. So I know that he was very highly thought of while at Highbury, or the Emirates as we should say now. I'm showing my age, Peter, when I'm saying Highbury, aren't I? Patching off the corner. Mark Connolly was arriving late at the back post. It's that sort of area that you usually see Cameron McJanet occupying.
It was great bowling.
It was a great bowling. Ball safely back to Call. Call just steps between two Rovers players nonchalantly and picks out Ben Doherty on this right hand side. Doherty can do nothing about it, and Rovers can break through Clark. But McAnuff just standing up to it. Jordan's brother Aaron, of course, won a league title with Shamrock Rovers before making way to go and play at Tynecastle and Hearts in Scotland. Now plying his trade with Perth Glory in Australia. Enjoying life down
sunnier
under.
climates.
Yeah. 35-degree heat there last week, I was told, so it's certainly a bit warmer in Australia than it is here at the Brandywell tonight.
An excellent footballer in his own right too.
Yeah. Ball over the top. Trying to allow Michael Duffy to get in behind the Rovers back four. Lopez and Grace combine. Graham Burke screaming for it in the centre of the park for Rovers. Rovers just can't see for a red and white wall at the moment. Burke does well. Nice bit of control from the midfielder. Oh, it's picked out a lovely pass into the centre of the park, but unfortunately for him, Jack Byrne could do nothing about it. Byrne's not too happy with himself either, but Graham Burke's just saying there's nothing we could do there. I think does the 4G surface play a part, Peter, where it doesn't really slow up the ball and passes like that?
Yeah, I'm not in favour of him at all. At the time when Derry put it into the Brandywell here, I would have preferred it to go onto the showgrounds pitch and the Brandywell to remain grass. I know there's talk about now maybe lifting it and things like that, but again, it does, particularly when you're playing in the summer season, it becomes very, very sticky and slow in the summer months, and that doesn't lend itself to the way Derry want to play football. They want to get it down and play and move the ball quick.
Well, I think if Derry have any auspices of continuing to play in Europe and continue to sort of manage the top end of the table rather than mid-table and try and qualify for Europe every year, that Europa and UEFA especially will not favour home games if it's played on 4G, because I think is there not a rule or something about not being able to play it on a surface such as the 4G?
Yeah, well, I read a report recently where There was a lot of European clubs now that are going to be lifting their 3 or 4G pitches again on safety grounds more than anything as well. So again, there could be a movement now in the near future for that to happen.
Of course, Dundalk spoke about lifting theirs. They still have the 4G as well. I think isn't there one up in Belfast? Is it Crusaders? Is there a 4G?
There are a lot of them have it now in the north as well. There's Crusaders in Cliftonville, Coleraine and Dungannon and that. Oh.
Yeah. Great clearance from Ben Doherty there as Jamie McGonigal heads it back to Patching. McAnuff on the ground finds McGonigal. McGonigal couldn't quite get his feet sorted there. There's a wee bit of afters with Kieran Cruz. Poon back to Lopez. Jack Byrne getting under the mix. And then Clark does really well. Just doesn't get past McAnuff on this occasion. Oh, Jamie McGonigal shows a clean pair of heels to Cruz. Gets past his man, gets into the 18-yard box, spreads it across the front of the 6-yard box. But Michael Duffy was just a bit late on the heels there. Duffy. Back to Diallo. And Diallo just getting the feet mixed up as well. But Duffy does well. He just ran into traffic there. But O'Reilly picks out call. Mark Connolly. Diallo and Patching. Ball's back with Shane McElhinney, and he sees that Kieran Call's in a bit of space on this right hand side. McAnuff safely back to Mark Connolly. Dare I say it, there, he looked very comfortable in possession.
I was just
Peter.
thinking the same. They are very comfortable at the moment, and I think Rory will be extremely happy with the performance so far.
Well, he's shouting something to Jamie McGonigal on the front line, so I don't know if he's asking Michael Duffy just to sort of play through the centre. And Duffy's just gone on, look, he's gone into that central position at the moment. Lopez does well, controls it on his chest. McAnuff steps away from his man. That's a lovely ball into the path of Michael Duffy. Duffy just releasing down the left hand side. Patching shifts onto his favoured right foot. Thought about the first time shot. Picks out McGonigal at the back post. McGonigal onto his right, gets his shot away, but it's charged down well by Cruz, and that's going to be another Derry corner.
Yeah, I just think, as you just touched on, they're asking Jamie to play more in a wider role here, the moment where they can use his pace to more effect.
You can just see from the replay, McGonigal, he just knew once he got it on his right foot, he had only one thought in mind, and that was to try and shoot beyond Leon Poles, but it's gone out for a corner. I think the 5 sub limit has been used by Rovers, so corner's whopped in under the front post. It's fell to McGonigal. Oh, he just couldn't quite wrap his left foot around it.
Yep.
He just didn't quite get the bend that he was hoping for, Peter.
No, but it was decent enough effort.
You just see from the corner, get it away. McGonigal just shaped himself with that left foot, just couldn't quite capitalise. Balls out with Clark, just waited for Call to commit himself. Oh, silly from Trevor Clark, and he's going to pick up a yellow card for that. I think he knew where the player was. He stuck out a foot, you can just see probably from the replay.
I just think it sums up Rovers tonight. It's just been very frustrating for them.
Frustrating for them is just the exact word I was going to use. But
they've really sort of huffed and puffed.
The first challenge there, he just waited, yeah. They knew he had lost it and Call. But again, the referee couldn't have been better placed to see that. Trevor Clark picks up the third booking of the night. 2 for Rovers, 1 for Derry. But at the moment, Rory Higgins will be the happier of the two. because they have looked comfortable, and as you say, it's just been a frustrating night for Shamrock Rovers, Peter.
Yeah, they've sort of tried to get it down in play, and they've created one or two openings, just they haven't done it on a consistent level. They've had no really sustained period of possession and haven't really opened up Derry, particularly down the middle at all. Derry have looked very, very comfortable defensively.
Yeah. Mark Conley, well, I think he looked at Michael Duffy. I don't think he realised that Michael Duffy had advanced forward, so he just played it into the area where Michael Duffy was occupying just moments before. But it's a wasted free kick from a Derry City point of view. Matthew Ward out warming up, and yeah, I think it's a solid tackle from Jordan McAnuff on that occasion. It's going to be a free kick to Shamrock Rovers just inside their own half. Rory maybe thinking of a change. Peter, I see a number of the subs just warming up. Brandon Cavan on one of them, having a word with Alan Reynolds inside his technical area there.
Yeah, well again, he's just probably thinking of giving some other players now minutes, or even maybe one of the two younger players a few minutes, just to give them a bit of experience at this level.
Simon Power getting on to there. Goes back with Lopez. It's also an opportunity as well too, you know, from Stephen Bradley's point of view, to try out some players in different positions too, you know, because Cruz on the left in the first half as a sort of winger, now he's playing as a left back. So
yeah, well, we're aware that they have 5, 6 or 7 missing, possibly first team starters as such. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to try different players in different positions. They get minutes under their legs as well. But there's never no such thing, as I say, as a friendly.
Yeah.
They still wouldn't want to lose this game, and he'll be bitterly disappointed that they haven't really, at the moment, they haven't really gone down with a fight.
Yeah. Well, Rovers trying to build on it through Clark. Here's Burke. Burke thought about the shot, but I think the ball was just getting away from him before he could actually pull the trigger.
But again, it's all in front of Derry. It's all in front of the back four, and Derry are comfortable.
You can just see he does really well. They step away from Conley, but I think they wanted to pull the trigger there, but it was just
Conley shouldn't have backed off.
Yeah.
He should have kept him,
stayed on his
pressure
shoulder
on him when he had his back to him.
clever ball back to Conley, and then a long ball down the channel. Team McGonigal does well, just lifts it up over the Rovers player, finds O'Reilly. Diallo's had a solid game in the centre of the park for Derry as well too.
Yeah, he's very effective. Just goes under the radar, but it does a fantastic job for Derry. Yeah.
So, you know, we talk about players under the radar. Dylan Watts does a lot of work for Rovers as well too. Seen a lot of the ball in the first half, and but he always puts a shift on. You know.
Yeah.
Jordan McAnuff down that right side, and it's Lopez versus McGonigal. Just rewind 12 months, and there was a different outcome. McAnuff gets the 1-2 from Cole. Just can't seem to make up their mind at the moment what to do with it. But the Rovers players certainly crowding them out. But Adam O'Reilly does well. They just continue these run. It's just unfortunate for him. He ran out of space, and the ball goes tumbling over the touchline for a Shamrock Rovers throw-on. He certainly he stood out for me, Peter. I don't know how you feel about him yourself.
Yeah, as I say, I know of him in terms of he's a good box-to-box player, very tigerish, a lot of energy in him, and he'll be a fantastic addition to the squad.
Grace through the centre. It's another mistake from Rovers. Is it going to allow Derry a throw-on as we approach 12 minutes to go in the President's Cup for 2023. Derry City leading through those 2 goals in the first half from Will Patching and Michael Duffy. Seems a long time ago now since that goal went on the 39th minute from Duffy. I'm actually surprised they haven't capitalised on trying to shoot from distance, knowing that they spilt that one, Peter.
Yeah, true. Again, I think Derry are just more content now to try and keep the ball, and rather than going and sort of trying to get that third and leave himself maybe a bit exposed at the back, they're content just to keep it.
Rovers again, shows too much of that to Diallo, and Jordan McAnuff is there just to tidy things up. Diallo does eventually bring the ball away for Derry and finds Kieran Call in the process. Diallo balls over the top for Duffy, just slightly behind Duffy on that occasion, but ball goes out for Shamrock Rovers throw on. Derry fans over in that far South End Park stand aren't too happy with Neil Doyle's decision. Lopez finds Byrne. Oh, it's a heavy touch from Byrne.
Just sums up their night.
Yeah, if you look at Burns, even his body movement now, it just, the frustration is just there. He just threw his arms up as if to say, why could you not get on the end of it? And now he's remonstrating and arguing with his fellow players. So the frustration continues for the Talamen here at the Brandywell. Brandon Kavanagh getting sent out to get warmed up. I think he'll be entering the fray in the next few minutes. I thought that was a handball from Patching, it was, and the referee has seen it and has given the free kick Shamrock Rovers' way. Byrne. Power. Grace finds Lopez. Lopez, just telegraphed that ball into the path of Adam O'Reilly. Jamie McGonigle's just waiting and waiting and waiting. McGonigle does get his foot to it this time and clears in, but it's well cleared by Lee Grace. I think it's just about a draft, took that ball out over the touchline. That's going to be another corner for Derry City. Kieran Call been brought to the touchline to have a word with Rory Higgins. So Ben Doherty again stand out tonight, back making his second appearance in a Derry City jersey. Not his second appearance, but his second time with Derry City, but he's certainly had a decent enough shift as well too, Peter.
Yeah, he hasn't looked out of place at all. He's just come in and looked as if he's been here all along. He's a good mature player in terms of maybe not age, but he still has his best years ahead of him. But he's really done well tonight.
Patching again with the high ball to the back post. Michael Duffy awaits. Duffy under a bit of pressure. No, does really well. Turns away from his man. Still has the ball at his feet, and he's won a throw on for his efforts. The game certainly has died, Peter, in the last 20 minutes or so too. Like, you know,
I think Rovers just wanted the end now too. But again, you know, Rovers, they're an experienced squad, and they're going to have better days. They'll get a few players back, and tonight, they, as I say, they had no real sustained period of pressure on Derry, and that Derry were very comfortable. So Rovers will be very disappointed, and maybe use this as motivation to galvanise them again to go another season. Because a lot of talk is about doing the 4 in a row, which only they've done before, previously in the 80s. So they can't look that far ahead.
Well, it's going to be a long season, and from a Derry City point of view, I think they would like to push them all the way. There was a comment made during the week, I don't know if it was Rory Higgins or Alan Reynolds, about, you know, we finished second last year, but we want to go one better, and the only way to go one better is to finish above Shamrock Rovers. Yeah,
well, I tell you, if you finish above Shamrock Rovers this season, then you would like to think that you've won the league.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure the likes of St Pat's and Dundalk and Sligo would argue that they'll be thereabouts as well themselves. But the squad that Rory and Alan have put together is going to be very, very competitive, and you would like to think that they will certainly narrow that 13-point gap that there was last year, and the strength and depth there now in all positions. But again, over the course of the season,
it was just a scramble inside the 18-yard box. I thought we were going to miss something there, but ball's eventually played to the back post. Trevor Clark can keep it on. He does so. Steps away from McGonigle. Again gets his cross on, but that's easy for Jordan McAnuff, I should say, to clear. Lee Grace with the short ball to Jack Byrne. Grace gets it back. Graham Burke picks it up, but doesn't quite get away from the attention of Adam O'Reilly. Certainly a candidate for man of the match tonight. And Jamie McGonigal just couldn't quite keep Adam's place.
Just saying, over the course of the season, that you certainly need your share of luck.
Yeah.
In terms of injuries and suspension as well. I mean that, but in fairness, the strength and depth of the Derry squad at the moment is exceptional, and it'll stand for the test for this what'll be a long season with Europe and everything taken into consideration.
When you think of the team that Rory inherited before Declan made his way, he's certainly built up what he wants, and he's built up what he expects these players to play for as well too. And it's certainly a more exciting brand of football, you could say.
Yeah, it is. And again, that's probably coming under the tutelage of Stephen Kenny.
Yeah.
I mean, Rory was always a sort of student of the game as such, and he's done exceptionally well over the short period he's been at the club, and you'd like to think he can keep building on it, and as we say, go one better this year and get that elusive title.
Lopez forward to Burke. Burke finds Clark. Clark does really well to step away from the challenge of O'Reilly, but again, a big man who came from Dundee United, Mark Connolly, steps on his way, and that's going to be a throw in to Shamrock Rovers. Bit of activity on the Derry bench. They're going to go clears downfield, and Lopez can see it safely back to Leon Poles, and it is Matthew Ward who will be coming on, so Rory Higgins giving another chance for one of his latest signings to get a taste of what life is like at the Brandywell. Michael Duffy, short ball on field to Diallo with a nice lay off to Duffy. Duffy spotted that McGonigal had a bit of space. Kieran Cruz tumbles over the Dungiven man, and that's going to be a free kick for Derry City.
It's a good centre forward play, just bought the free kick there. Just felt the touch and went to ground.
You see there. So Michael Duffy will play no further part tonight, having grabbed his goal in the first half after 39 minutes. A fortuitous shot from 25 yards out, seeing the ball squirm under the arms of Leon Poles. He makes way for one of Rory Higgins' latest signings, Matthew Ward. So an opportunity for Ward to endear himself to the Brandywell faithful as Will Patching stands over this free kick, and immediately he's in on it. Ward takes the ball to the the byline, I should say, and cuts back. But Graham Burke, he's got a few tricks on his locker, and he steps away from the challenge of two Derry players. Does really well, but he's put the ball out over the touchline. Commentator's curse, and that's going to be a corner to Derry City. If Derry City can capitalise on this, there'll be questions asked of Graham Burke, trying to show a few tricks. He's having a lengthy conversation with Jordan McAnuff. So 3 minutes remain of the 90 until we see what Neil Doyle will add on for additional time tonight. I can't remember too many stoppages in the second half, bar that one for Brian Maher. Signal goes up, whooped onto the front post, cleared to the back, and Will Patching gets the laces behind it, but unfortunately for him, just sat up too high, and that's going to be another goal kick to Shamrock Rovers. Jack Byrne, you just see from the replay as the ball comes out, Will Patching just left footed. Clark safely back to Cruz. Byrne rolls it along the ground, gets it back. Byrne, he was just trying to release Aaron Green there, but broken up well by Derry City, and Adam O'Reilly does really well. A lovely step away from the ball, and then he's brought to ground. And the Rovers players can't quite agree with Neil Doyle as Simon Power brings the rampage and Adam O'Reilly down. Just noticed that Will Patching went down as well too. Peter. I don't think it was
Yeah, he
injured.
just looked as if he was holding his hamstring. I don't know whether it's just a wee bit of cramp or.
Yeah. And again, the frustration continues for Rovers. And
It's
that's
just
going to be
getting
another
very
free
scrappy
kick.
now.
Yeah. I think they'll be glad to see the board go up for additional time no matter what Neil Doyle brings.
Yeah, the
Or
Rovers
thinks-
just want the game over now.
Yeah. It's an opportunity maybe for Will Patching, not his favoured side. He prefers the ball more central or to the left of the goal. Ben Doherty fancy this with the left foot maybe, Peter? We'll find out. Doherty, no, he whipped it on the back post. Mark Connolly again underneath it. But he can do nothing about it as the ball was just headed up into the air and up over the crossbar of Liam Paul's goal. Lopez, ball along the ground, finds Graham Burke, and again Adam O'Reilly was just closing in on him. Rovers can't get out of their own half at the moment. Jack Byrne playing very deep, finds Cruz. Poom. Ball over the top, Connolly lets it run. Despite the attention of Simon Power. 4 minutes of additional time added on by Neil Doyle, so 4 minutes probably to do with all the substitutions in the second half. So 4 minutes for Rovers to try and gain some semblance from this game. But I think time is just slipping away from them ever so slightly, and especially with balls like that from Roberto Lopez from defence, trying to pick out Graham Burke. He's saying that it should have been more central. But Brian Maher will be in absolutely no hurry to take this goal kick, and he'll try and play down as much of the 4 minutes as he can, Peter.
Yeah, as I say, for the last 20 minutes, Derry have been very, very comfortable. It's been a good performance by Derry.
I think
new additions too, they've looked very solid.
Yeah. Well, Adam O'Reilly was certainly a standout, and Ben Doherty, as you said, you know, he's just slotted in there tonight as if he's never been away. But I suppose you don't become a bad player overnight.
No, of course.
Rovers through Green down that sideline, but he's managed to get a corner under the 92nd minute.
I think Derry have a good balance now throughout the spine of their team too. They have good experienced players there, as well as the energy of the youthful players. You know, it's a nice balance they have at the moment.
Corner will be taken. Played the edge of the penalty spot. And Derry can bring it away through Patching. He took his time. And
poor ball.
Matthew Ward just stayed. I think he just stayed on his own half to try and stay onside.
Yeah.
But he can do nothing about that. Rovers keep the ball in play. And eventually bring it away through Burke. Burke was
Great opportunity. They've completely finished the game. Played it behind him. Just
Cruz, short ball. Clark thought about going past Kieran Call. Call safely back to Connolly. Shane McElhinney and Connolly combine. The Derry defence happy just to stroke it between each other from one side of the pitch to the other.
Kieran Call's done well too, an unaccustomed role for him.
Yeah,
particularly as a right back. You know,
he spent a lot of last year on the bench and sort of, you know, cameo appearances, but he stuck well and stayed with the club. So credit to the Donegal man. Asado Diallo breaks forward, lays it into the path of Matty Ward. Ward thought about the shot, just waited and waited for the challenge to come. Back to Diallo. Derry City looking maybe to get another goal before the 94 is up. We've got 93 played, so they've 1 minute to try and do so. But I think we'll just try and see this game out safely now. Retain possession. There was a few games last year, Peter, where they held on to slender leads, and you know, rather than trying to play the possession game in the opposition's half, they invited the opposition on them. One game of note that I stand out was the Dundalk game, where They scored in the 93rd minute, you know.
Pat Hoban, yeah.
Pat Hoban got us the equaliser, do you remember? And at that stage, I think they were 3 points behind Rovers as well too, so they were really pushing them at that stage.
Yeah. Well, that's it. But you hope this season now they're that bit more streetwise and they can manage games better.
Yeah.
Because last year they struggled to manage games, particularly in the second half. That's it.
I think the 94 are nearly up, so Rovers will leave the Brandywell empty-handed tonight, having seen the President's Cup been wrestled from their grasp. Neil Doyle brings proceedings to a close here in the 2023 President's Cup. Both managers exchanging handshakes down in their technical area. Well, the game kicked off 90 minutes ago and it took 23 minutes before the deadlock was broken. That goal coming through Will Patching following good work by Michael Duffy down the left hand side. Duffy then turned goal scorer in the 39th minute when his fortuitous shot from 25 yards out squirmed under the arms of Leon Poles to make the score 2-0 at half time. The second half really fizzled out with the substitutions. Rovers introducing 4 players at half time, sort of took the sting out of the game, and Derry held on to that 2-goal lead to make sure that their name goes on the President's Cup as winners for 2023. So as you can just see from the credits, it's finished here: Derry City 2, Shamrock Rovers 0. So we can take a look from the first half with those 2 goals. See Michael Duffy rampaging down that left channel, plays a great ball into the box, and Will Patching just leaning back, side foots it into the net beyond Leon Poles.
It's not an easy finish, he's done it well. It's actually coming slightly behind him.
And the second goal again, Duffy picking up on that left channel, goes infield, thought about the shot, pulls the trigger, and Leon Poles embarrassingly just lets the ball go in underneath. That was disappointing, a bit, but red-faced when he sees the replay later. So Shamrock Rovers showing their appreciation to the fans that have travelled and have stayed even beyond the final whistle over to our left-hand side in Block A of the South End Park stand. I don't know if there was a candidate or if there was a man of the match, Peter, as picked by the dignitaries here tonight, but for me, Adam O'Reilly was a real standout.
He done exceptionally well, yeah. Again, he looks to have a good energy in him, as we said earlier, box to box, and that wee bit of bite in him as well, but again, quality of player as well, who can get on it and play, technically very, very good. Looks like he's going to be a great addition to the Derry squad.
So the Derry fans just showing their appreciation to the home fans in the South End Park stand facing us here, just doing a lap of honour around the pitch, and we just await presentation of the cup as Michael D. Higgins makes his way down in front of us to present the trophy to the Derry captain for the night, Will Patching, in the absence of Patrick McElhaney, of course. So not a bad night for Will Patching. Got on the score sheet, gets to meet the President of Ireland and receive the President's Cup from him for 2023. So it's an honour trophy for Rory Higgins' men.
Well, that's it, and you hope it becomes a habit, a winning habit. The players get that feeling for it then, and that hunger for more.
It's nice to take a bit of silverware under the dressing room, and it's nice to sort of go next week too. It makes the journey that much more easier to Inchicore next week. And but St Pat's will be fired up. First home game as well too, Peter. And we wish Derry City well, of course, and Shamrock Rovers for the rest of the 2023 season.
Yeah, well, it's really looking forward to the season, because I think it's going to be a tough league this year. I don't think Rovers will get it as handy this season, but with likes of Derry and St Pat's and Sligo and Dundalk and that, there's a lot of teams will be vying for that top spot. With a lot of teams making huge additions to their squads as well and spending money. So it's going to be an intriguing league this year.
It certainly will be an intriguing league. You can watch all the action live every week here on LOA TV. Derry City are away to St Pat's next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time when Derry City host Cork City here at the Brandywell. But for me, I'll sign off tonight with a win and another trophy for Derry City as they lift the 2023 President's Cup. It's finished at the Brandywell. Derry City 2, Shamrock Rovers 0.
You can feel it in the air. It's coming. It's time to get ready for the thrill of the action, for the passion of the crowds, for the blasts from a distance, for the inspired touches, for the near misses, for the not so near ones. Game by game, goal by goal. Get ready for a different energy. Get ready for a different league. SSE Airtricity, official sponsor of the men's and women's leagues.